Okay, we're live.
All right.
We're live again.
We're live again. And guess
All right.
what? It's Alana and Dustin. Round 2.
Cut. No.
This is really uncut. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you learn something new every day. We just learned that you don't push the big red button that says stop broadcast.
Yep.
Nope.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Yeah.
That's amazing how that works. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're back. Again. This is Jake and Christy. We're here with Alana and Dustin. Y'all want to say hey? Yeah.
Hey.
These are our great, awesome friends in network marketing. We love them, and we're going to interview them tonight and ask some awesome questions. Okay, so I'm going to try to double tap to flip this around this time. There we go. Hey. So
Hello.
Jake and I, we just finished doing an interview with Alana and Dustin, and so now we're flipping the script here, and we're going to interview them. So
I was going to say, if you were not on Alana's because you
Hey from
haven't
Australia.
followed them, then you need to follow Oil the Time, and you can go look at that broadcast we just did.
yeah, and you can follow them. They're awesome. You're going to see that you will fall in love with them like instantly. So they're funny. They're awesome. They're our good friends. So we're going to...
Their dog is licking
Yeah,
they're-
Alana's legs.
giving me a bow.
We missed that. The dog just
Yeah.
ran out. Okay, so we're going to just hold this here so that they can join in. I'm going to scoot over a little bit closer so we're not so
I'll
far apart.
snuggle.
Here we go. There we go. So we have a few questions that we're going to ask them, and then we're going to open up the floor to you guys to be able to ask some of your questions. We know that many of you are already following them and love them, and so anyway, here we go. So, oops, sorry, I'm trying to figure this out here.
What are you doing?
I'm just taking care of business.
Oh.
So,
If you say
Whoa.
wrong things on here,
Whoa.
you get blocked. Okay.
boom, done.
Boom. Done.
So, all right, so we're gonna get started. We don't want to waste time. I know it's a weekend, and everybody's up late, but it's getting like further than the night, so we're gonna start real fast. So I'm gonna let Jake ask the first question.
I'm going to ask, I'm going to get serious real quick.
Oh gosh.
So
Okay.
we all grew up with like this idea of career. You do good in regular school, then you go to college, and then you get a job. I'm actually really curious about, with your success in network marketing, how do you feel about college now? Because I know you guys homeschool too, which is
Got 2 boys.
For
two
our
boys,
kids.
Yeah.
and you homeschool. So how do you feel about college now?
Do you want me to answer this, or do you want to?
You can. I mean, you can answer it, and then I can chime in.
I feel like I'm a giant next to you. Yeah, this may or may not be something that everybody agrees with, but if you've ever really dove into learning more about network marketing as a profession, it is definitely the better way. Definitely the better way, is in my opinion. So yes, I think a college education is fantastic, but is it necessary? I would really hope that our kids would join a network marketing profession, because I know that the real world out there, as far as now
he's got the
now
going.
Jake's watching it. Are we just like we're the only ones in here hearting ourselves for things. But I'm going to let you take over from this point. My opinion is, if my kids want to go to college, great. It is not something that I'm going to pressure them into.
Right, and I agree with Alana on that. Because I mean, growing up, it was pretty much once you graduate high school, you're going to college, and I was like, well, okay. And when I look at business school, and the business school, they teach nothing about network marketing. They pretty much teach you how to not go to jail once you get your business degree, how to keep your own books, how to kind of run a business, and then you can pretty much learn on the fly in the field how to run your own business once you get it going. Now, and we kind of talked about this when we were getting this Periscope set up, is now if they in the future they start offering network marketing classes, that might be something where, yeah, it'd probably be a good idea to go, because network marketing now, the knowledge that we have of it is pretty crazy. It makes you really wonder what's the benefit of college. Now, again, please understand, we're not dogging college. We're not saying don't go to college. We're just saying, with what we know now and the success that we've had within this business or within network marketing, I really don't have the urgency to push my children to have to go to college. If
Yes,
they want to.
we both went to college, both graduated
Yes.
from college, yes.
And I did as well. Went to college and graduated. And Jake went.
I dropped out.
But he went. He went and then he dropped out, which he wouldn't argue with. I don't think.
Do you think it's more now like it's just they get a more choice because you know more now? Like when we were kids, right? Your parents said you're going to college.
Oh yeah.
But now if your kids come to you and say, I really want to open a business that does X, Y, Z, you're not going to just dismiss it.
I'm going to dive in a little bit more and say that if you have not read the 4-Year Career book by Richard Bliss Brooke, I would definitely say get that book. That completely opened up my eyes because we were on the path of the 40-40-40 plan, meaning that my husband was working actually more than 40 hours per week.
Which is really becoming the trend now in corporate America.
Right. Oh, gosh. He was working 60, 70 hours, sometimes more. And so the 40-40-40 plan is 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life, and then living off of 40% of what you had been during retirement. So that was the path that we were on.
Did you read that?
Did you see that?
That was Jeff Hennigan, one of our friends, said he just rode with an Uber driver who has a PhD. He's an Uber driver.
Yeah,
that just,
I have a vase sticking out of my...
Yeah, I know. We're like, we're going to have to change.
Blew my mind, Jeff.
There we go.
You just blew my mind, Jeff. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, so we were on that path, the 40-40-40 plan, except for we were more like 60-40-40 plan probably because he was working so many hours. And I really don't want that for my kids. We have so much financial freedom. We have so much time freedom. And it's just something that I really want my kids to have. So going through the college route and getting that experience is great. But do I necessarily want my kids falling into the 40-40-40 if it's something that they are not passionate about? That's the key here, because he was not passionate in his job, and it was something that he wasn't able to really, there was no value there. And so I think if it's something you're passionate about and it's a job that you need to go through college to pursue, great. I think network marketing is the better way. Let's cut it at that.
Okay.
And go on to the next question.
Okay, yes. And by the way, so what Jake's doing on the side over here, he's actually taking notes and watching the Periscope. And, of course, yes, and he's given some hearts and some love by tapping the screen for us. So, anyway, but see the green pen? He's writing down some of your questions. So if you're popping up questions, he's trying to catch some of those to write them down because there have been some great questions popping up. So we're going to ask just a couple of others so that we can get to your questions because I think some of yours may be better than ours. So, anyway, I guess the next question. Oh, do you have something to add?
No, I was just one of the questions I was trying to.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I guess my next question is, how do you think social media has played into your network marketing business?
Huge.
And that's the answer right there, folks.
Honestly, it's amazing what social networking has done for kind of everything across the board since it's began. With the business, I was blown away how in touch with your team you can be just from social networking. You can pick up a cell phone, make a call, make a text, but with social networking, you can contact and connect with hundreds of people at a time, thousands of people at a time versus one.
Yeah, even Periscope.
Yeah. I think Periscope. Yeah, this is why so Facebook has been a very big social media platform for me because we have put our team in a product group where they learn more about product, and then we've done a business group where I am able to pass along business information, share classes and whatnot, and it goes out to the masses, and that's been so much. I realize that network marketing's been around for a long time before Facebook and all of that, and I just feel like if nothing else, it has made communication that much more effective. Just in a one-stop shop, I can just post something and it go out to the masses. But I really think Periscope is going to be the next thing, and so if you are a business builder, I would highly recommend you getting on there and making a platform, whether you want to talk about the product side or the business side, but something where it's going to be valuable information for people that you may not know who are just, going through Periscope trying to find something to watch. Give them some information because I think it's going to be a great place to network. So, yeah.
Awesome. Great answer there.
There's been two really good. You want to use those?
Okay. Yeah, I think because it's late, I think maybe I'll ask one of the last ones that we had down, and then we'll move on to you guys and your questions because we are getting so many amazing questions. I'd love to hear the answers. So, anyway, this last one is, what do you feel has been your top highlight in your career so far in network marketing? And I guess if you will start that with how long you've been in network marketing in this business, and then followed by your top highlight in that time period. So, okay.
We joined our company in December of 2011, and I did not decide to pursue the business side until 2 summers ago. So that would have been 2013, July of 2013. So I've been building for just now 2 years, and it has completely changed our future, our lifestyle, and what's really awesome is I was able to, with this pursuit of this network marketing profession, it was allowed Dustin to quit the job that he hated and come home and work alongside me. So we oftentimes say he retired at, how old were you? 30?
Well, I'm 34 now.
32?
Yeah. It was last
we
year.
Often say,
it was last year, so I was 33.
Okay. So anyway.
1 year.
Not numbers. Not numbers.
No, I meant when I first started that.
Oh.
Oh gosh. Oh Lord
I got
Jesus,
you.
there's a fire. I need more kombucha. I know where it is.
We got to put a big squirrel.
Y'all, seriously, give me grace. What is it, like Sunday almost?
It is 11. Yeah, it's getting late. It depends on where they are in the world. I mean, there's
Yeah. But basically, I've been pursuing this as a business for 2 years, and he quit last year to come home and work alongside me. I think that was probably the biggest highlight, and the reason for that would be my answer. I'd be curious to know what his was, but we've been married for 11 years this month, and we have 2 boys, 8 and 4. And our kids did not know this man right here. They did not know their father, and I really felt like I didn't have that. I mean, we had a great marriage, but it wasn't very close because we didn't have the time to be close. He worked so many hours that there were oftentimes at night I would cry to him saying, I am a single mom and your kids don't know who you are, and I don't want them to get to the age like teenagers are out of the house and never have that close relationship. I've cried many times over this, sharing that story, so I'm so glad I got through it. But that was what was...
It just got real.
It did. Because that was the thing that was so life-changing was he was able to come home, and even though he helps work, we have built such strong relationships now, and I'm proud to say my kids have a fantastic relationship with their dad, and I don't think that would have ever been possible had we stayed on that 40-40-40 plan.
Hearts on that.
Hearts on that.
Hearts on
tap,
that.
tap, tap.
Tap,
That's
tap.
awesome.
All right, so
Okay, so now I guess we'll move on to the questions from
There's been
the
some-
audience here.
there's been some
So-
really good ones. So I'm gonna ask. You can keep it on.
Oh,
the list
okay.
if you
Okay,
like.
so here we go. Here is.
I thought this was a really good one. There's actually a lot.
I'm trying really hard to not get that vase right on top of your head. It looks like you have. I don't know how to move it. I guess we could. It's
Well,
like.
we got the plug back here.
Yeah, here, I'll just do like right here. So, Dustin, you just make sure you're in the
We're just
frame.
going to turn around.
There you go. Perfect. Is that better?
So
Yeah.
There's
Okay,
there's
awesome.
a lot of questions on couples and
I
husbands.
feel
so
like
I'm
we're
gonna
low,
kind of.
though.
Like here?
Oh, gosh.
There.
We're getting
Chrissy's
scary area.
arms are gonna fall. Chrissy's like,
Yeah.
Chrissy's like bracing her
Yeah.
hand like, I'm going to need some pan away right now.
I'm ready for my stand, the phone stand. Okay, are we good?
Okay, so one question, and we'll kind of go through these quickly, I hope. But what would be 3 tips you would give to couples trying to do the business together?
Tip number 1 would be communication first.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when I decided that I was going to pursue this, I talked to him first, saying, was he on board? Which I knew he was on board because he had pressured me. And he kept saying, you need to do this, you need to pursue this. And I'm like, it ain't for me, folks. I'm not ever going to pursue that. And then I totally ate those words. But we really talked about it because if you intentionally pursue network marketing and you're doing it on a daily basis, you can spend as little time as you want. I had such a huge why and such an emergency that I was going to, like, if I was going to do it, I was going to put the pedal to the metal. And so I knew I was going to be putting in a lot of time, and I was going to be sacrificing time that we didn't even have, but it was going to be sacrificing that time and sacrificing things around the house. Like, I was really going to go for it. So I had to communicate with him to make sure that was okay. So that would be one thing I would say. What do you think? They said 3 tips?
That's for 3.
Well,
3.
And here's the thing. We kind of look, I mean, we're a married couple, but we kind of look at it
I hope we're married, that's for sure.
We look at it like business partners as well. And what do business partners do? They communicate. But they also balance each other out. So whereas she's good at the networking side of things, where she loves to help out, talk to people, communicate, I'm more the behind the scenes kind of guy. I'm doing the numbers, the taxes, all the stuff that really she doesn't like doing. You know, what is that?
Because I'm a squirrel, and so I can be all about relationships and I can network all day long, but if I have to figure out the taxes and how much mileage and yada freaking da, I'm like, I don't know, but there's about 15 squirrels running around in my brain right now. So 2 peas in a pod right here. He's the peas, I'm the carrots, or something like that.
Yeah, and communication is the absolute biggest thing. I mean, when she told me and decided that she was going to pursue this as a business and go after this, we talked about the sacrifices that we were going to have to make. And those sacrifices may seem small to some and may seem huge to others. Like, for example, laundry, cleaning the house, homeschooling the kids. You kind of have to, I had to understand what that looked like and what that was going to be like. So I couldn't come home from work and be like, why is the house a mess? Well, we have 2 boys. They destroy everything in their sight. I mean, that's a dumb question for me to ask. She's been working. She's pursuing the business. So she was getting after it. So I would come home, clean up, cook food for us if we needed to cook food.
Tap for Dustin.
Tap some love for Dustin for sure.
And the reason I say cook is because most classes happen at night, so she would have to leave when dinner time was. So I would cook the meals for us, and she would eat when she came home and all that. I'm not trying to say she wasn't doing any of that. She was, but she was hitting it so hard trying to get classes. And we were in Kansas City. We didn't know a whole lot of people. So she was trying to network as many people as she could up there, as well as educate and help our team that was still back in Texas as well. So she was doing a lot of things, as well as trying to get to know a whole new landscape and a whole new atmosphere for us.
I do want to build on that and say it really annoys me when I hear men saying, if you want to help your wife in this, you need to take over the household duties, because not all men are going to want to do that. So I don't want to say that as like a blanket statement of, if you're a husband and how do you support your wife in this business? Well, you need to go do some laundry and dishes. No. That's not what I'm saying. It's definitely communicating on where can I take away time and how can you help me with time? And it just so happens that he's the best dish and laundry man out there. So he was fine with doing that. But we're not saying that's what your spouse has to do.
Right.
It just fit well for me. I got to step away from those roles and use my time elsewhere building a business where he could fill in those roles. So hopefully he didn't freak anybody out out there.
I understood what corners she could cut on the home responsibilities in order to maximize her time on the business. And so whatever corner she's cut, I went and did and took care of. That was just where I picked it up. And that's what business partners do. They pick up the slack where some people slack off and vice versa.
Communicate on figuring that out.
Yeah, I mean, she's an awesome networker, helps the team out amazing, all that.
And he does awesome laundry.
Exactly.
I mean, it just works hand in hand.
So,
hold on, before you go to the next question, I just want to say, because there's some amazing information being shared here tonight. So if you want to share this with somebody else, if you're on an iPhone, then you can swipe to your right, and then there's a button that you can share this. So if you have some followers on Periscope, you want to make sure they see this, that's how you can do that. If you're on an Android, I believe you just swipe up, and then it does the same thing. There's a button to share, and you can share that with someone. And again, this will be up for 24 hours, so if there is something you want to watch back, then it'll be up for 24 hours for you to watch back. Okay, so do you have the next question?
Yeah, I was just going to, before I ask the next question, I was just going to say it's really cool. Like most of the questions that you guys have gotten over the course of this interview has been around the husband and doing this as a couple. And, you know, Christy and I are obviously doing this as a couple as well. I'm curious if all you guys are out there watching, do you have a hope and a dream that really your husband does? And that is really close to me. I'm sorry.
I hear you.
Do you really have a hope and dream that, you know, your husband is doing this with you as a couple so that you can actually share in the success with them and be more connected to them? We see that a lot in our team, and I think a lot of people are striving for that.
I'm just curious. I mean, pop up on the screen. If you are someone that's in a relationship and trying to do network marketing, just pop up yes. I'm just curious how many out there watching this that are in a relationship or married or whatever that are trying to build this business as a couple. So, yeah, awesome. Cool.
So with
That's
that,
really awesome.
what I'll follow up with was someone asked a question. You can put it back on.
Okay.
Asked the
He's
question.
like, don't film.
Okay, I'm done.
So the question was
Awesome. Yeah, there's
and
lots of them.
And I know
Oh, great. I
Very
missed who
cool.
that was,
Oh,
but
that's
that was
cool.
awesome.
I know I'm paraphrasing this, but my husband works 100 hours a week. What would you tell him to get him involved?
Tell him that I think for a lot of husbands, they need to understand what the potential is. Because men, from my understanding, men, they kind of want to know what the potential earnings are, or what they could. I mean, because financially, I mean, it's scary to leave a job and not understand or know what's going to happen. But I think if a man understands the business, understands what the potentials are, they could potentially be earning monthly, yearly. That kind of puts their heart at ease and makes them helps them understand.
What would you tell that?
Well,
what would you tell the builder to give the husband?
But I think the most important thing is
A ticket
when
to
you
San
think, yeah, you can tell them about that in a second. The most important thing is if you're watching and your husband's working, some of your husbands may love their job and may not have a desire to ever be brought home.
You can't see Jake.
Jake is raising his hand back here. And so that's the thing. That's the beauty of network marketing is they don't ever have to leave that. They could, if they wanted to, they could pursue one of our members, Melissa, and her husband is a fantastic, phenomenal jeweler and was working for a jewelry company, basically. And he still wanted to pursue that. He didn't want to come home and help. I think he does help, but that wasn't his passion to come home away from his jewelry, amazing creativity, and help her with the business. But he wanted to pursue his own line of jewelry, and so he was able to step away from that, the having a boss to then creating his own business with something he's passionate about. So not all husbands are going to want to come home and do that. The one that asked about the 100 hours is find out his why. Find out his motivation, his passion. Is he passionate about the job that he's in? Does he want to continue that? Is there a different route he wants to take with what he's gifted in? Or is he wanting to come home? Because I couldn't fully answer your question without knowing that because it's different for each situation.
Well, I think she commented, she said, he doesn't want to quit his job, but he just doesn't want to be gone that many
As
hours.
much.
Right.
So yeah, just do a vision board together on what do you want your lives to look like? What does he want his job to look like? And write it down. Make a plan as far as, we would like to have this done in 1 to 2 to 3, 5 years, however long. And then have that be the framework on deciding how much time do you need to put into this business, and in that way he can be more supportive because he can see what the end goal is.
Or look at the income disclosure and see what rank would bring in the amount of income that he could reduce his
That's
amount
a
of
great point.
hours.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be gold because you're going to make X amount of dollars, okay, push for gold, then he can cut back his hours once you exceed the amount of money that he's making in the difference of hours, if that makes sense.
Because it's a misconception, right, that people think they have to shoot for Royal Crown Diamond out of the gate.
Right.
For most people, silver or gold is a life-changing amount of income for their family, right?
When you ask someone, this was a perfect point that you just said, but when you ask somebody, if you're talking to a business builder or if you're asking yourself, I do want to pursue this as a business. How much do I need in order to fill in the blank? If it is quit your job, if it's lower your hours, if it's change your career, whatever, you need to know that number. This is not like I don't know. You need to figure that out, and so do your builders when you're talking to them. So
someone said their husband was too pessimistic to do a vision board. Do you think for those type of men, reading the 4-year career would be helpful to them?
Absolutely. I mean, the 4-year career, it's a quick read. I mean, I wasn't typically a reader. I mean, prior to me reading that book, I hadn't read very many books in 10 years prior to that. I read that book in one night. I mean, literally, I couldn't put it down because it was mind-boggling what you can do in 4 years as a career, and what I was doing with the 40-40-40 plan. Really, what Alana said earlier, the 60-40-40 plan.
This is the book we keep referring to. So if you don't know, you do not have to get Young Living Edition. You can just get this book in general. Whatever company, whatever multi-level marketing company you're in, most of those companies have a specific edition, and then in the back it will give like success stories from people in that company. But this book in general is great. Sorry.
Bliss Business.
No, it's okay.
Bliss Business, I think, .org.com, blissbusiness.com, I think.
And if you're a numbers person,
blissbusiness.com.
you're going to love the book.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. And I'm a numbers person.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, I think we have time for another question.
Okay.
And
So this was a question someone asked.
we love Art.
Oh yeah.
Time for your heart to go for the question.
Time.
Okay,
Grab
sorry.
it out the room.
Someone
Whoever's
said,
purple is doing really good.
and
Awesome.
I am paraphrasing, but it said, "I'm not going to convention this year. Is that bad?"
That was blissbusiness.com.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Ask the
I'm going
question
to make it two parts. The
Okay.
person
Okay.
said, "I'm not going to convention this year. Is that bad?" So answer that, and then maybe answer if they're not going, what should they do? Maybe instead.
Okay.
Well, it's not bad per se, but I feel like the best thing you can do as a network marketer is attend events, especially events that are for your company. Now, we go to different network marketing events that are just network marketing in general, but that's where convention for your specific company, you're going to learn about the product and the business side, and that is something that is just imperative for growth. And so that needs to be a priority always, to attend events. If you can't do it for this year for whatever reason, that's understandable. I mean, there's times where we can't attend. It's not bad. It's just something that you need to put on your radar as being a priority for the future. But I did want to go back to the vision board real quick, because I was going to say it and then I got carried away with the book, and it just came back in one of my 17 files that's open up here, my tab that I have. But with the person that said their husband didn't want to make a vision board, yes, you can make your own vision board, but just talking to him without saying, hey, let's get out some poster board and magazines and all that, you don't have to do that. Just have that conversation as far as what is his vision and what is his goal, and then you can make that a reality. You can write those things down. It doesn't have to be all girly, but you can write those goals down and create a very, simple vision, idea, and plan. So hopefully that answered both questions.
Well, here's the thing. Once you go to convention, you're probably going to think, oh, that was bad that I didn't go. It's not bad. I mean, you're going to get, I guarantee if you know people at convention, you're going to pretty much find out,
yeah,
as it's being talked about, what's going on at convention. It's really the atmosphere and the networking with people who are in that group that are there, and just building those relationships that you're missing out on. Because you're going to find out and get the education that we're all going to get. Because trust me, social media is going to blow up.
Yeah, we're going to all be talking about it. But that's something, definitely be following or in communication with your upline, with your crossline, with other mentors that are on social media, so that you can learn things that you're missing out on. So what was been nice?
Someone just asked, why do you think there's more women than men in the company?
In our specific company, it's just ours is around health and wellness, and I feel like typically in our society, moms specifically are the ones that kind of are the caregivers and the health care providers within the family. And so I think what's really remarkable about our company is only approximately 8% pursue the business side. So 92% of us, including me, came into it just because I wanted to care for my family. But everyone talks about things that they love. So a lot of us who came into it then start talking to our friends and our mom friends and whatnot, and it becomes a business that way. And I think that's really why our company is more, it appears to be more heavy based, heavy on the women's side, because it's product led and not business led. I feel like if we approached it in a business led environment and way, it would have attracted more men from the beginning. But the way we do it is just kind of product led.
Right. Awesome.
I think that's.
I'm going to ask one closing question.
Okay, closing question,
Closing
and then we'll
question.
wrap up because
All
it
right.
is like super late.
So,
thank you guys for hanging with us. So this is the last question.
We're starting a new week. You can put it on them.
I think I'll just zoom in real quick.
We're starting a new week soon, right? What's one thing that people who are starting in network marketing can start doing this next week to help grow their business?
Only one thing?
One thing. What's one thing they can start doing?
Oh my gosh, I could rattle off about 10 things right now. You say one and then I'll say one. How about that?
Message 5 people per day in your Facebook Messenger and just start building relationships. Don't talk to them about the business. Just start building those relationships and seeing what's going on. They may bring up, hey, what are you doing? My wife says this all the time. Alana says it all the time. That's how she got started. When she came back from convention, she made it her thing to message 5 people a day and say, hey, what's going on? How you doing? How you been? I see that she kept up with them on Facebook. I see you just
never
had a
mentioned
kid.
the product
Never
or the
mentioned the
business.
product or the business. And eventually those people kind of came back around and said, I see you keep talking about these oils, or I see you keep talking about this product. What is that? And she would tell them about it. Some would get it, some wouldn't. It's not a big deal if they don't. I mean, the worst thing they can say is no. That's
Right.
Right. I think to put his in a nutshell is network marketing is all about relationships. So how good are your relationships, and how many relationships do you have currently, and are they, are you continuing to upkeep that? My answer for it would be fall in love with the product even more, because a lot of people that are new, they may see other successors, successors. They may see other people in this business who are successful and then say, ooh, I want to do that. But you may not fully be in love with the product yet. Maybe you have one thing and that's great. Share that. But it's really easy to share and be excited to share when you love something. So use your product, just douse yourself with all the products you have every day, trying to find things that you love so that it's easier for you to speak about it and it's easier for you to share about it and be excited about that.
Awesome.
Now, there is one thing that I want to add. I did see a question that asked, are there groups for men within our company? Yes, there's a Facebook group that you can go to if you're within Young Living within our company. It's called, you need to message Jake or myself.
We were trying to keep this
Yeah, sorry, but this was a
That's
specific
okay.
question. Message Jake or myself, and if you're within our company, and if you know within our company, you know what company that is, and we can add you to that group. There are retreats that we go to. There are men's retreats and conferences that we go to where we educate each other and just network and have fun as well. But we're all in it to help each other. And also, I do feel like we're starting to see more men within our
Absolutely.
business.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Within the past year or so, I've seen a lot more men. Amen to that.
Yeah. And I feel like I need to add, just because why not keep this going, but to add to whoever said, what's the top tip, or you said one tip for people that are starting, do not assume. We all know what assume is. It makes it out of you and me. You know how to do that. I bleeped that part out. do not assume, because that was one of the biggest mistakes I ever did. Was I would just automatically say, oh, that person wouldn't be interested. I'm not going to tell them how much I love this product. That person would never use this, and you have no idea who would like that. So especially about men, never assume that men would be interested. So I did. Yes. Woo woo!
There we go.
Jeff got it.
Jeff did it. But I really, like, from the get-go, make sure that you are not prejudging somebody ever. Because that, I can't tell you how many times the opportunity passed me by because I didn't mention it to this person, or I assumed that they wouldn't be interested, and then lo and behold, they get interested and introduced by somebody else, and I missed that opportunity. I judge the book by the cover, even though we're all taught not to do that.
Which can be on the product or financial
yeah,
side, right?
On both.
Both
because
ends.
you could assume, oh, that person's already wildly successful and they love their job, they'd never be interested in the business side, and you know, you could be sitting on a diamond not even knowing it. So
exactly. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great
That's
point.
I know, preach it.
Right,
Hello. Yes. Did this session just blow
Okay,
your
we
mind?
just ended that one right there.
This was so fun. Thank
anyway,
y'all for tuning in.
Yes,
It was
thank
fun.
you guys so much. We so enjoyed this too. Thank y'all
should
for
all
hanging with us.
squeeze in.
Let's try to squeeze in. I've got a wide angle lens on this phone. It's kind of cool. If y'all didn't see the Periscope earlier, that's what we're using.
I want somebody to screenshot this and then
Oh yes,
send it to
screenshot
us.
it. Okay, got it?
How many silly faces can we make?
Christy's just gonna smile.
Okay, guys. So anyway, thank y'all for hanging with us so late. We had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun. And again, to share this Periscope or the one that we did at Oil of the Time, you can go back there and share that by playing back the Periscope and swiping right, and then share, or if you're on Android, you can swipe up and click share. So
I think Heather Brock asked a question and then said we didn't answer it and said,
Oh.
dude, what was the Heather, I'm sorry I missed it. What was the question?
okay, if you can tap it up really quick, we'll see if we can maybe get it. But we got TikTok. Sorry, we're missing.
Type fast.
I must have missed
Type
it.
fast. Oh, here it is.
yeah.
Jake like Turkish. Oh, was that it? Is this the question?
Yeah,
Served by Turkish
she-
card.
Oh,
She
Heather
asked
must.
that-
Heather
she
was
asked that question like 6 or 7 times, and you were holding the phone. I thought you
Oh my goodness.
I do like coffee.
Turkish coffee. Yes, I think she must have been with
Yeah,
us on
you
the
just,
cruise.
you just don't drink the last little bit. That's all.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, we had a fun
Yeah.
time there. So
I think Heather
anyway.
and I were in the same boat to the hotel together.
Awesome. I mean, see, you get to meet
Yeah.
people overseas and they join you on Periscope. It's so cool. So anyway, hey Heather. So anyway, you guys have a great night and had a lot of fun. Thank you for the hearts. Thanks for hanging with us. Share this with others if you loved it. And we'll catch you next time. Everybody, let's squeeze in and say bye. Y'all ready? Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.